you'll see fish. When you lower your lure down, you'll see it go like that, and you can lower it right down to the fish.
Right here is an expert in ice fishing, Bill.
We'll see how that works today. See all the fish?
Oh,
None.
yeah.
There's the surface.
No.
There's the bottom. Those are the fish.
Very.
We got lots of holes though. We're no shortage of holes. We'll find those fish.
At least it's not like the old days where you actually had to hand crank that
No,
sucker.
and then you just had to fish until you found them.
All right. We're literally waiting to know where to fish.
Yep.
This was Bill's instinct right here.
Yeah, we caught him here before, but that was last year. The fish have probably moved since last year.
Yeah, it's probably like deer. Same video. Hey everybody, sorry the live feed didn't work. So I just had to start recording. But check who I'm ice fishing with. And Bill caught the biggest. Look at the size of that.
Guys.
Look at the size of this crappie.
I'm gonna hold it close
Big
to the
arm it,
camera.
big arm.
We're not playing around, are we? Look at that thing.
Sorry, Chuck Adams. Bill's got your technique down. Actually, it is a giant. It is a very, well, there, I'll show you. It's, I can't see, but that's it, laying next to normal size crappie. It is a big one, but no, we're out here and we should be deer hunting, arguably. It's, well, we're 3 days into late season here. We have a big warm up. The wind changed, so someone just shot
I
one.
heard a shot.
So much for us knowing when deer move.
While we're in here ice fishing, some guy down the road just killed a 180.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's no kidding. That's how it works. But no, this can actually learn a little bit from it because Bill and I, although someone just shot, we both have deer that we're kind of wanting to go after, but the wind isn't right. So bottom line is we're
Oh, too. You have a big one?
yeah, it was a big sucker.
Yeah.
Oh, you got him?
No, not a big one. Okay.
No, it looks.
Wait a minute. Don't get too excited.
Oh, I just had one.
You lost. Oh, I caught mine.
Dang it! We need a gorilla pod in here. I mean, what kind of filming operation is this, Bill? Jesus.
You're the running the show.
I know.
But here's the thing.
Midwest idiots.
It might not be a giant, but we're hungry.
Yeah, Bill has got an unbelievable system down here for filleting fish, catching fish, all the above. But the live feed didn't work. We're actually in a cool little. Well, Bill's got an idea for his next book. It's called Ice Fishing Ditches and Creeks.
Oh, look at that. Is that your minnow?
Probably. No, I've had the same dead minnow for 17 hours.
Any competition.
Yeah, don't put that in there. But anyway, we're actually hunting on this little pond.
Fishing.
Is that what I said?
You said hunting.
Oh yeah, okay. We're fishing on a pond that used to be a creek, and we actually found the fish where the deepest part of the creek came through. So
Yeah,
that's what.
within 15 feet of where we're fishing, it's 6 feet shallower.
Yep.
So we're right in the old creek channel.
Yep, working good. But yeah, we were looking forward to going live with you guys. But we had a few questions people posted on the thing, so we're gonna answer some questions for you. Sorry, I'm kind of having a selfie this whole thing, but that's reality, people. We're coming at you live. But one of the questions was, I know there's so many fish down there. One of the questions.
Show them the flasher before you do questions.
Okay, there's our little flasher.
Oh, now there's gonna be one less.
Oh, look at this bucket mouth. Nice. That's how we're rolling, people. You guys would have had fun if we could have gone live. Bill's got us in this desolate little place. No one can broadcast from here. But no, one of the questions was whether or not we feel like the ongoing debate of
Oh, crank on it. You want me to crank?
yeah, you crank it in.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone. I can't fish, and I'm devoting myself to my fans.
I would not.
Shouldn't even say fans. They're just friends.
I wouldn't. They're not your friend if they're interrupting your fishing.
If they knew me, yeah, they'd be like,
no,
okay.
No, I don't say that. I'm just saying your real friends wouldn't be expecting you to stop fishing.
Yeah, well, someone asked a question about predator control and whether or not the practice of thinning down your predators is important for deer numbers, and he had said that he did it, but his deer numbers went way down, and then after he stopped, they went back up, and his theory was that it kind of messed up the ecosystem by taking out too many, and he was talking about trapping.
I think it was intrusion, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That he was focused on?
Yep. So what's your thoughts, Bill?
Well, I mean, for sure, depending on how big of a hunting area you've got and when you do the trapping, you could have a adverse effect on the huntability of the deer, and I guess you could run them out. But and I've talked to a lot of different biologists about it, and nobody has a really conclusive opinion on whether you can actually have an impact on coyotes, or whether nature has to run its course.
Yep.
Can you catch enough of them with traps to make a difference, or are you just taking out a few and then the rest of them are more productive? So I don't know. I mean, I never got into it. Partly it's because I didn't have enough time, but also it's because I couldn't come up with a really conclusive opinion from experts on how much of an impact it would make.
Yeah.
There's no doubt the coyotes are eating fawns.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's been proven.
Yep.
So I guess, if you can remove some coyotes, you're going to have some more fawns, but can you remove enough of them to make a difference? Or will others move in?
Ooh, that was a nice hit. You got to pay attention.
He took everything.
Northern
Clean
pike.
Clean me.
Clean.
Completely clean.
Dang
now
it.
I've got a bunch of work to do to tie another one on.
I met a guy, his name is Val, and I can't pronounce his last name, but he's a unbelievable person. Amazing. He dedicated his life to studying wolves and sheep. And it's probably not cool that I don't know his last name, but he thinks, Bill, that that the coyotes are actually like they're gonna phase themselves out.
Well, they have on our
Yeah,
farm.
they have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was 3 or 4 years ago. Every night you'd hear at least 2, sometimes 3 different packs
Okay.
that would be yelping. And now, I mean, it's maybe every 3 or 4 nights you'll hear a pack.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's less. We see a lot of rabbits running around now, like we didn't used to see rabbits. And
I
there's
see
rabbits all
tons of
over.
rabbits and pheasants on my place.
I just think
too.
it's. I don't know
I
that.
can go sideways.
Somebody
Can I
said
do
that.
after I've.
No,
I don't know. Now that I'm starting this way, I don't think I can just flip it around.
no, because they're not going to know what to do unless the camera.
Does it automatically do it? It must.
No, the camera does, but the player would have to crop it when it's vertical.
Oh.
But
So,
maybe that's okay.
which way do I want it?
Well, you want it horizontal.
Well, crap.
Yeah.
I'm stopping and coming back horizontal the whole time. But we know what subject we're on.
Yeah.
This is a Dudley moment. Hold on.
Ooh, that's got some silver on the back, like a silverback.
That's a silverback.
I don't know. It's too
That's kind of big, Bill.
Yeah.
Here, while I'm filming, use this one.
I need to reach high because at some point you're going to be done filming. It's
Yeah.
too dark for me to reach high. Except
Okay.
For to bring a light.
So let's I'm gonna pop open that. So on this subject, what do you think's eradicated them, so to speak?
So we're talking
Coyotes. Yeah.
I think it was what do they call that when they all kind of die?
Mange.
Mange.
Yeah.
'Cause I had a couple of people tell me that they shot mangy coyotes.
Oh yeah, I've got a few on my place.
Yeah. And
But
once
see-
that gets started, then it runs its course through the whole bunch of them.
He believes that that the coy wolf is just gonna completely take over, and that they're just some of these coyotes are just, I forget his whole theory behind it, but it sounded really good.
Like the coyotes are gonna eat each other.
But no, like the original coyote gene is actually subdominant enough to where the species of the wolf and the coyote is going to really breed into one, and that the true wolf will be gone. and that the true coyote will be gone because they're starting to interbreed.
So we're gonna
quite
have
a bit.
wolves here?
Coy wolf.
Oh, I don't want that.
That's his theory.
Well, it seems bad enough to have a coyote. Now you got something that's arguably going to be bigger,
Yep.
which would eat even more things.
Way more.
Yeah.
What do you remember? What our next question was?
The habitat,
Oh yeah, we were talking about.
timber stand improvement.
Yep. So the question came. Bill has his own place. When he does TSI, which is timber stand improvement, is what that stands for. It's a great practice of pretty much removing select trees or invasive trees in order to bring more light to the forest floor, which then allows browse to grow, which is arguably better cover. You know, timber that you can see through. Like if you go into a really nice piece of timber, like a park where you can just see through it and it looks like something from Lord of the Rings, that's probably not good for deer. You know, if you go through something where you're thinking, I don't have briar pants on,
Yeah.
I don't want to walk through there, that's a good place for the kind of deer that Bill and I like to whack.
And I've got a lot of thoughts on that.
Well, what are they?
What I really need is somebody with better eyes than me.
Jesus.
Tie this little thing on that thing. Can you do that while I
Yeah.
talk?
Yeah, if you take my phone.
Do you know how to tie it? Now you got them off.
Which
the
one are
thing.
you doing?
Well, do you know how to just one that won't break? Do you know how to do that?
I do the double loop through wraparound fold over.
Yeah. Can you do that?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
All
So
right.
you tell people what's up.
So let me get my reading glasses off. I couldn't see that silly lure even with them. So now we're on this topic of timber stand improvement. I'm sorry for our distraction, but we're having a lot of fun fishing here. The my number one reason for doing it, believe it or not, is I mean, obviously habitat's important, but it makes my farm hunt a lot bigger when the deer can't see me when I'm walking to and from my tree stands. So when you think about it, if a deer can see 200 yards through the timber, they're bedded up on a little ridge and they can see everything within 200 yards, you're covering a 400 yard, they are covering a 400 yard wide area, a quarter of a mile practically, that they can see anything moving. Now, if you're walking through that area, they're going to see you, they're going to react to it, they're going to remember that there's some human intrusion there. It doesn't matter whether you play the wind and you know, be really super quiet, they're going to see you traveling through the cover. So if nothing else, you make it thick, it makes your farm hunt a lot bigger. Because now if they can only see 30 yards or 20 yards, then they're not going to see anywhere near, obviously, the same amount of ground. So, I mean, literally, you can walk 50 yards away from a deer, and if you're quiet and the wind is right, they're not going to know that you were there. Whereas if it was open, they're going to see you. There's that part. There's also the part about habitat and making the property thick. And, you know, it's debatable as to whether deer like to bed in thick cover or whether they like to bed in open cover where they can see. In my experience, they like to bed on the edge of thick cover towards open cover where they can see. So they like the best of both worlds. They can jump into something thick to hide if they need to, but they can see what's downwind of them. And that's their preferred way of bedding. Wind at their back, you know, thick cover at their back, open cover in front of them where they can see. Not to say that they won't live on your farm if it's super thick. It's just, you know, you don't have to have a super thick farm in order to have deer on it. But so there's that part of it as far as, you know, making the farm more secure for the deer. You know, it's the pressure that makes it insecure. It's not the cover that makes it secure. It's just when it's thick cover, they feel like they've got places to hide. So if you have limited pressure and thick cover, I mean, you probably have the best of all worlds. So that's what I shoot for. I mean, I want to have places for the deer to hide. I want to be able to hunt my farm without the deer knowing that I'm coming and going. And it has nothing to do with the real fancy, you know, forestry reasons. And there's a lot of those too. You know, oak regeneration is super important in the Midwest. You know, we've had a lot of studies done that we just don't have enough oak regeneration. The only way you're going to get more oaks is to cut the junk trees out and get the sunlight to the forest floor. So then you're going to potentially get some oak. But the question was, do I manage the brush and the briars that come up? So we've got kind of a long-winded way of getting to the actual question here, but yes, you have to about every 10 years. You know, you have to go back and cull out more junk, because 10 years later, the stuff that, like the ironwood that you released that was little small trees when the big hickory tree that you cut down is gone, now that little ironwood takes off, or maybe some really invasive like the bush honeysuckle or something like that takes off. So you got to go back in again and you got to clean all that stuff up. And the best way to do it is to actually kill the stump. Oh, wait a minute here.
Yes. Son. You see what's going on, don't you?
Oh, you didn't lose him yet, did you?
No. I'm gonna.
I don't know if I even got this point. Here, did I get it? Here.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, nice.
We're like a bunch of little girls. Look at that thing. Wow. Oh my gosh.
That's
so
so awesome.
funny. So who even cares about timber stand improvement anymore? Get that thing off me. No,
awesome.
that is so fun, man. What a giant. Those have got to be pushing 2 pounds.
Yeah, that's a great fish.
Yeah. Was that on my pole or was that on your pole?
My pole.
Okay.
You're ready to rock.
Okay.
I put a minnow on it for you too.
We need to get this answered really quick so I can get back in the water, right? So
Yeah.
then you can do a question.
Yeah, then I'm gonna do a question.
Okay. So the final analysis on timber stand improvement for me, priority number 1, make my farm hunt bigger. Priority number 2, create browse at eye level to the deer. And once the browse outgrows the deer, you got to come back and cull out the junk again. Number 3 priority is oak regeneration for me. And again, that requires culling roughly every 10 years. So it's a really, really labor intensive project. We're more than 10 years into most of my TSI. So we're gonna have to really get after it. And the best way to do it, they make these really heavy duty weed eaters that have like a saw blade on them. Husqvarna makes them, and I think Steel makes a really good one.
Oh.
You almost need something like that because you're taking out things that are the size of your wrist up to the size of your ankle, and you don't want to be bending over with a chainsaw and cutting all that stuff off. You're gonna kill yourself. But with these things, you can just buzz right through there, almost like you're mowing down weeds, and just hack out all those little trees. But make sure you carry some tore down with you, and dab it on each of the stumps so that they don't come back again. It's, like I said, it's a lot of work, but in the end, you get the benefits of more huntable deer, deer with a more available food source, and in long term, a better forest because you get the oak regeneration. So I'm going to hand it back to John because I want to fish. I mean, not that I don't want to answer any questions, but let's be honest here. I mean, that fish that John caught, that kind of sobered me of this whole answering questions thing.
Sorry. What was the next question we had? At least you can remember that part.
It's something to do with crappie fishing, I think.
Oh yeah, it was.
No.
Yeah, no, there was.
Wasn't there one on? There was the predators. I don't remember.
See, we can't leave our video recording in order to do this whole
No, so he's
question
still
thing.
jigging with his other hand.
Yeah. Oh! Get this one, Bill.
Oh man, that's a nice fish.
Yep. Hold on, people.
You better reel it. I'm gonna break him off if I do this.
Okay, we're.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Where's the
Hold
camera?
on, people.
Here, I'll film it.
Jeez, this is a nice one.
This could be a bass.
I'm wondering.
Whatever it is, it's gonna be big. Don't choke and lose him.
Hoping not. Hoping I'm in the gut. Oh, he's way over. That's a nice one again.
Oh my word. You should see it's like a shark swimming around under there. Oh!
Oh, we love your guys' questions, but honestly, we're catching 2-pound crappie right now. And the bottom line is, Bill and I are intentionally not out right now, not because we're thoroughly enjoying this, but it's because neither one of us want to risk putting extra pressure on the place, especially because it's late season, so the deer have been pushed really hard right now for the most part. And I almost argue that you can actually not hunt the first few days of the late season, maybe give it a week or so, and for the average person, your hunting can almost get better because those deer are gonna kind of lower their senses a little bit. But yeah, this was really fun.
Yeah.
I think I'm missing, and all those ones I'm getting are about 5 feet, Bill.
Really?
Big ones are coming in. Yeah, it looks like a sturgeon flashing by when they come in.
Now, let's talk a little bit about late season hunting as long as we've got these guys, because we want to give them something that they can use rather than just a bunch of crappie fishing, which, I mean,
which is good.
I'll tell you what. Oh, that was a good fish. I have a lot of fun with this crappie fishing.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, but the late season is really, it's not like the rut where you pound it. The late season is really a few well-timed hunts.
Yep.
Being smart, because the deer can fall into those patterns really well. I mean, you can get bucks that are coming out in daylight pretty consistently, and that was a pretty. Yeah, there might be bluegills tapping at it, but you can actually do more harm than good by hunting aggressively during the late season.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ooh, that's a nice one too. Yes, they're getting better. Well, see, I treat most of my hunting that way. I mean, during the rut, obviously I'm going wherever the wind's right, but I'm all about less pressure. This was a little topic that Bill and I
Don't
got
let
on.
that get away.
I won't. He's not going anywhere. He's in my grasp. Bill and I actually got on this subject on the way here. We both, crap, I forgot where I was going with this.
Less pressure.
Yeah, less pressure. See, some people are under the idea that you can drive on your place all the time and you can get the deer used to that movement, which Bill and I both agree that if you're able to do it all the time, then it's a good method. But if you're one of those, if you can only drive out there on the weekends, you're not able to drive around, you're just checking cards on probably a semi-weekly basis, it's arguable that you're almost doing more harm than good. So because neither of us are out there every day all the time, we feel like you almost need to be the other direction. You need to be there not at all.
Yeah, so it's either the deer sense zero pressure or they sense almost daily activity, and the daily activity is non-threatening. And this conversation came up because we're talking about right by my house. I've got a tree stand that's about 100 yards from the house. It's one of the best stands on our whole farm, believe it or not. And oh, that was a pretty good hit. But anyway, lost my train of thought. The wind blows from our yard and from our house towards the deer. And when I'm sitting in that stand, the deer will pass downwind of me all the time and never pay any attention because they're used to non-threatening human activity.
Right.
And so it means nothing to them when they smell a little bit of human odor, because it doesn't feel like it's any big deal. It's the Winkies, playing with their dog in the yard or whatever. But as soon as you do that out in the middle of the farm where they're not used to that, then they're going to be gone in a heartbeat. So can I be out there enough to condition the deer all over my whole farm to get used to me and my scent and not pay any attention to it if they smell a little trace of it? I don't think it's possible. I think it's only possible when you can kind of halfway urbanize the
They either
reaction of
need
the
to be
deer.
urban deer or they need to be wild deer, and you need
Left
to
them 100%. Where obviously you got to hunt them, but they can't know that you're hunting them.
Yeah,
And
and
you
that's
can get away with more if the deer are urbanized, kind of like what we're talking about. But
yeah. If they're totally urbanized, then you can make a lot of mistakes.
yeah, they tolerate human odor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, that's,
Odor, noise. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of different things.
as long as you match non-threatening human activity.
Yep.
Like if the farmer's out there every day fixing fence every day on his four-wheeler, you can drive your four-wheeler right along that fence and park it and go walk to your tree stand, and you have not bumped a single deer.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't do it all the time, and you think, oh, I'm going to be like a farmer, well, you're only like a farmer if he does that exact thing all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I mean, that's the way I look at it anyway. Is you can get away with being creative and matching human activity, but it has to be consistent, whatever activity you're matching.
Yeah.
So we're going to lose our light.
Yeah. I'm checking out. Bill and I'll hook up and do a podcast at some point, but at this point, we're gonna go fishing, everyone. So
We're gonna try to catch bigger ones than that. That's a Dudley.
all right, bye everybody.